Alright, and welcome back. So we're going to go ahead and rest and reset. We're going to have to clear these enemies out, and I mean, they're not hard enemies to clear out, but I'm going to try to do it in a way where it makes sense for you guys to be clearing them. So this first guy, I just wanted to show that you can climb up there and get him pretty quickly. But there is an archer down there, so the best way that I've come up with clearing this initial area is you're going to beeline it down here. Kind of take the original route that we took in the last episode. You know, drop down here on this guy, get a stealth kill. Take the archer row out. As long as you get these guys before they can kind of gang up on you, they're relatively simple. If he hits you too many times with the sword, he'll catch on fire. It'll be a pain in the ass, but as long as you can kind of overwhelm them early, they won't give you too much issues. Alright, more fistful ash. And as you can see, the gate is locked, right? And it doesn't open from this side because video games. So we're going to run around top of this building. Now there's a bunch of dudes here. One of them's a different enemy type than we have seen thus far. He's the dude with the club. So, club bro. He has a delayed, like, over sweeping attack that can kind of be hard for someone who's not used to it to deflect. So I generally like to take him out. And again, this is part of the farm run for this area. And I'll show you that technique as soon as we get done with this area. That way, if you need to come here and farm up some sand or some experience, you'll get to see a very early game. I mean, you can get really wealthy very early on and be able to afford everything. But the problem with it is there's not a ton of purses that you can purchase at this point. And because of that, it makes it kind of difficult to hold on to your sen, especially for a new player, because you won't have enough, well, not that you won't have enough skill, but you'll be running the risk of dying and losing half of it after putting in, 3 or 4 hours of farming. So you don't want to make that mistake. This part is a little bit chaotic. You can stealth all the way through here, and it works. What I like to do is kind of let them all gather up on me. Here's a club, bro. Take him out. Take him out. And you see he just did the thrust attack. I used the firecrackers just to stun him. And again, firecrackers work wonders. Kind of buys you some breathing room. This guy's drunk on his ass, so. And boom. And one more. And one more. Okay. Now, if you notice, all the wealth I'll just kind of explain farming to you right now. All the sen and all that stuff is laying on the floor right now. Now, Sekiro doesn't have a mechanic where when something gets dropped, it's the exact amount that's already dropped is what you're going to pick up. If you pop one of the Mibu balloons of wealth right now, right here I only have one. If you use it right now, it will increase the amount of sen that you pick up even post killing these guys. So this is the end of the area that you would farm. You would kill everyone that I've already killed up to here, and then at the very end of it, you would pop that balloon of wealth, and after you pop that, you would just run all the way back to that first idol, collecting all the sen and items, and that would pretty much double the amount that you would get normally from clearing this area, which is 189. It's almost 200. Let's say 400 from this area, and then another 200 or 300 from the other area, so about 700 per run. But you can't buy any Mibu balloons right now, so it's not hugely profitable when you only have one. Alright, flame barrel. Iron barrel that spews fire can be fitted in the Shinobi prosthetic to become a prosthetic tool. It's difficult to control the rage-filled red eyes within the power of man alone. However, a fire-based weapon could be the means for resisting them. They are said to fear fire above all else. So again, another hint for that big ogre. Use this on them. And there's another Mibu balloon of wealth. So now that we have the flame vent, we could at this point go back and take care of the big ogre. But what we're going to do is keep pushing along. Talk to this guy.
Worthless bastards. Hello. You are Shinobi, if I'm not mistaken. Take the Shinobi axe from the temple and split their skulls wide open. Please.
Alright, so he just told us the location of another Shinobi prosthetic. Again, this is an optional area, but in Soulsborne games, the optional areas tend to have some of the best equipment.
No, leave it. Go on to the next one.
But if there's any offerings, we could give them to Lord Juzo.
Enough! We don't take from Buddha. How many times do I have to tell you before it sinks into your thick skull?
Please, don't get angry at me, boss. I'm sorry my skull's so thick.
Alright, so if we recall back to the merchant that was talking about the night that he met us, he was talking about the group of bandits that he was with, and he said he was a bandit before, and that they used the flame vent to start a fire, and they all got drunk and all that good stuff, right? So he's in here somewhere. And we're just gonna take these dudes out. One more. And there's that counter for the thrust. Okay, so it's called the Makiri counter. Anytime someone's doing a thrust attack, you just have to be patient enough to when they start diving forward, press circle, and in the direction, point the stick in the direction that they're coming, and you will counter it and step on their weapon. A heavy black iron axe used by Shinobi can be fitted to Shinobi prosthetic. This boorish axe is used less for cutting and more for breaking things with its weight. Once the favorite weapon of a Shinobi known as the Bounding Monkey of the Sunken Valley, it was lost along with his left arm. Alright, so there's some big implications there that you won't be able to tell yet, but the Bounding Monkey of the Sunken Valley is a character we have already met, but I'll save that spoiler for later. Alright, cool. So now we gotta jump to this side. I think there's some chickens over here. Yeah, so more chicken bros. Go ahead and kill one. Now these dudes are a joke, but if you let them overwhelm you, like a group of them, they will kill you. So make sure you're taking them out quick. Another pellet. What else? Another chicken. I think they're roosters actually. Boom. And you can see with a suppressed sound that we purchased earlier, yep, there's a little kick. So if you have 4 of them doing that, you know, it can be super annoying, especially when they kill you, right? So another sugar. You don't really want to use the sugar on anything other than a mini boss or a boss, just because of the nature of how the game works. The regular enemies, you know, you'll get to the point where you can kind of farm them up. But so there was a Gokon sugar. I think it was Gokon's. Yeah, Gokon. So sugar candy made by Shinobi hunters of Misen Temple, sustaining Gokon's blessing, reducing posture damage taken for a time. Misen monks are well versed in the art of killing Shinobi and undertaking that demands a body with an unshakable core. So basically, there's a group of enemy in this game that are Shinobi hunters, and they will kill you, and they're good at killing you. So we're gonna encounter one of those soon. That was kind of a hint. Go ahead and open this gate, and we're gonna come through here. Alright, so this area, this is the merchant.
Hey, good sir. Are you a looter too? Good sir, you look like a shinobi, I think. Are you looking for something? Well, in any case, I found this place first. Hmm? So, keep your eyes peeled out there, huh? And, don't let the door hit you in the... Oh, by the way, while I was on my way here, I saw a 3-story pagoda on top of some cliff. It was a fine pagoda. Really fine. I bet there's some kind of treasure kept in there. Gotta be. That's what I think, at least.
So there is a pretty good treasure kept in there.
It was
Okay, he doesn't have any extra context, but yeah, that's the merchant that we found that we gave the money to. That said he met us before. That was the encounter where he met us before. So bundled Jesus statue. These are important. Small Buddha effigy found bound in red cloth, raised in prayer between one's palms to restore a note of resurrective power. To enswathe the Jesus statue is to express feelings of parental love. The bundle of cloth is at least to ensure that the little one goes on in peace. All right, so these statues, they don't seem wholly important. All it does is give you back a resurrection node, which we don't have yet because I have not died. You'll get that on your first death. But every time you die in Sekiro, you get a chance to either resurrect, and it will use one of your resurrection nodes, or you can just go back to an idol and reset from there. As you get more resurrections, you can have up to 3. They take some time to regenerate. So if you're in the middle of a boss fight and you make a mistake and you're close to killing it finally after like your 50th attempt, and you need that one extra resurrection, you can use one of those statues, but they are very finite. There's only a few of them in the game. So make sure you're using them in good spots.
Surrender peaceably now. You're gonna regret it later. Hey, can you hear me? Hey.
Alright, so there's some villagers in there that we get to talk to. These guys are yelling at them to come out. We're gonna go ahead and take care of that. And like I said, these guys' attacks are like delayed, so the timing for them is kind of weird. But once you get the timing right on them, they're pretty easy. You can kind of just power through them. Make sure you're blocking. The problem with blocking is they break posture really quickly. So if you block too much, you'll see I got posture broken right there, and he just kind of smashed me in the face.
You're the young lords. Oh, thank goodness. Honorable Shinobi, those filthy bandits are after the young lord. They've already climbed the hill and set the estate on fire. It looked as if the young lord had no way to escape.
I beg of you, Shinobi. Please rescue the young lord.
I entrust this to you.
So she gives the antidote powder for poison.
Thank you.
Gonna come in handy later.
Try not to move. It'll make your wounds worse.
No, I must go. There is a shinobi hunter among the bandits. He's highly skilled. If I don't face him... Oh!
I forbid it. You are in no condition.
So again, eavesdropping a lot of times kind of foreshadows the events that haven't taken place yet. There's a shinobi hunter out there,
You're the young master
and
Shinobi.
Yes.
we're gonna have to deal with him.
You were nowhere to be seen when things went south. Wait, tell me you didn't lead them here yourself. The timing of their attack was perfect. Normally those bandits wouldn't have stood a chance. Yes, it had to be you. I hope you die, traitor.
So someone betrayed these people. Kuro is actually from the Hirata Estates, so he's like a local here. Someone betrayed these people and let the bandits in, and we don't know who that was at this point, but that guy's blaming the shinobis. Mind you, we're not the only shinobis, so I mean, he's blaming us. Doesn't have to just be us, but alright, so we're gonna rest here. We have to go back to the dilapidated temple. Reason why we're going back is because we need that axe for the next part. So we're gonna head back, get the axe, go back in, and then we're gonna deal with the shinobi hunter that is waiting for us on the other side. Let's see. Emma kind of changes
So
her. Okay, so more dialogue.
Birthmark. Then that must mean it appears on those who have received the dragon's heritage. Or perhaps it's a symptom. Huh.
So she's trying to figure out the
Goodbye.
reason you have the mark on your face, and that's going to be like an ongoing story. We're going to talk
So,
to...
you're back. Was that a dream? Or was it real?
Whether it was a dream or it was reality, I have no idea. There is one thing I can tell you. The great Buddha has seen fit to awaken old memories within you. What you felt, what you remembered, that is what it all depends upon.
I'm not sure if what I saw is what truly happened.
That's how it works.
All right, so we are going to
No
talk
matter
to
what
see.
I thus
Okay,
goes
no
out.
new dialogue. And then we're going to present him with... All right, so we got the flame vent now, which is cool. And we got the loaded axe. All right.
The Shinobi prosthetic. Appears you've taken to it quite well. Here, this is for you.
All right, so prosthetic esoteric text, a book of secrets that details a variety of techniques for use with the Shinobi prosthetic, grants the ability to learn prosthetic style skills. Written by a man who abandoned the path of Shinobi but could not bring himself to discard his painstaking research. He never expected to pass these on to anyone else.
It contains ways to bite into your foes with that fang of yours. In other words, fighting techniques for your prosthetic arm.
I see.
I had thought that prosthetic techniques wouldn't ever be needed again. But it seems I was wrong.
So these
Another
techniques
dumb
are
helmet.
pretty much just a different upgrade path. I mean, your Shinobi skills are going to be like your ninja stuff, and then the prosthetic stuff is going to be all geared around your prosthetic. So like chasing slice, whenever you use a prosthetic tool such as the shrunken or the firecracker, you can do a forward slice. And grappling hook attack, when you grapple to an enemy, you can use the grappling hook to kind of push forward on them. Kind of keeps the pressure up. A lot of enemies, they'll try to get away from you and recover their posture. So that's a way of making it so that they cannot do that. So we're going to go with run and slide because I want to get to Shinobi Eyes, which is going to make the posture increase off of our Mikiri counters, which is the thrusting attack. So Hirata Estates, State Path. Now this is a good chance, I think, in the beginning of the game to recommend that if you are, on the first playthrough, you should go through the Hirata Estates and clear this area out until you're super comfortable with doing it over and over and over, because one, the farm is good for you. You get a ton of experience. You can start unlocking some of those abilities, and then two, as you unlock the abilities, you'll notice that the prosthetic abilities will make the game a lot easier when you come to those difficult boss fights. The prosthetic is almost like a crutch, not a crutch, but I mean, I still use it, but you can get away with not using the prosthetic tool at all. But on certain bosses, like the ones that are coming in the future, like these guys, I'm gonna just eat them alive with the axe, right? Use the axe, boom, break the shield, boom. Some bosses are gonna be just insta-killable with the prosthetic, and then some bosses just require you to kind of just get good at the game. Kind of a mantra for the Soulsborne series. So don't ever feel like using the prosthetic tool is bad, but just know that there is no requirement to do so. So we're gonna go ahead and take out these guys. That was the Shinobi Hunter that we just ran into. Oh, I can't see. Now that he's up here, we're going to jump back down. We're going to take care of the archery guy. The Shinobi Hunter is going to be chasing us like the entire time. But what we want to do with him is actually reset him, because you can get a stealth kill on him. So now that we've cleared out all the other enemies, we're going to get away. He's actually not that difficult once you understand how to do the Mikiri counter, but for those that this might be the first playthrough, Mikiri countering is going to feel super awkward at this point, and this guy's probably going to give you a rough time. So I'm going to show you the easiest way to deal with him. Go ahead and sneak back up. Get into the bushes. Stay locked on him, obviously, because you don't want to lose sight. But you see he has 2 health bars. Go ahead and use the healing gourd just in case I miss one. And you're just going to sneak up on him. And don't do what I just did and miss. Alright. Well, let's just fight him. Alright, so you see I get pretty much every time he does an attack, he does that, right? He does a thrust. Oh, shit. Alright, so at this point is where they're going to introduce the resurrection mechanic. Might as well get out of the way now.
Wolf, take my blood and live again.
Alright, so this is Kuro basically talking to you every time you die. And we're going to resurrect. And you can see I now have a resurrection node. And that's the Makiri counter, right? And it's going to blow this guy's posture out of the water every time we do it. He's going to pretty much just... Now, Makiri counters can be weird on some of the thrust attacks. Like that one, I was doing the counter, and it's just, sometimes it sidesteps instead of countering. It's not a big deal, but like that, I mean, I was stepping forward, and he killed me. So, this boss, for some reason, you have to time the counter with the spear tip, not with the actual animation. The best advice I can give is timing the kanji, which is the red thing. Time that. But yeah, so I lost 500 sen there, which sucks. And I lost 110 experience, which sucks too. But that's why you buy the purses before you do anything crazy in the game. Now, if you look in the bottom left-hand corner, you see 2 pink balls. One of them is refilling. The other one is completely full. No matter what, you will always have 1 resurrection. And the other one will refill as you get death blows on enemies. You never get 2 resurrections until you get a second death blow. So for a lot of the bosses that are like 3-phase bosses or 2-phase bosses, if you die before you get that first death blow, it's fine. You can use your resurrection, and if you have a full resurrection node, you can actually use the second one after you've performed the death blow. So a better way to kind of clear this area than what I'm doing right now is by using the shard, the ceramic shard, to lure the enemies away and pull them into the grass. But I'm hard-headed and I hate dying to simple mini bosses, so we're just gonna kind of power through. See if this guy will come down. Yep, he comes down and we punish. Oh my goodness. Alright, now we're gonna run away. And we're gonna run away. We're gonna run away and kind of reset them. And I'm gonna use the pellet to heal right here. Sorry, my daughter walked in. Alright, while we let them reset, I'm gonna go ahead and close my door again. Sorry about that. Daughter wanted to play Barbies with me. Alright, we're gonna kill this guy and this will be the end of this episode. Sorry about the first death. Can't believe I let Shinobi Hunter. Alright, so death blow. Boom. And do our thing here. Kind of get some distance to bait out his thrust. There we go. There we go. And remember, just because they do a thrust attack doesn't mean they're always going to do the thrust attack. He does do a sweep. And it's all she wrote for Shinobi Hunter. So, just, you know, the Makiri counter, enemies with swords are much easier to carry counter, in my opinion. The final boss is a absolute pain when it comes to Makiri countering, but it's because he has a spear and a sword, and you have to get good at doing both. But in general, once you get comfortable with it, it's pretty simple. Alright, just cleaning up all the items here. I believe there is another, yep. Alright, cool. So now we made it to the next sculptor. Gonna go ahead and rest. Kind of reset the tendency. Now the Shinobi Hunter will be gone, so you can use this area as a farm as well. Not entirely necessary though. Gonna go ahead and upgrade. Let's go with, I need 2 more, or I need 1 more, so. Alright, cool, yeah, so this will be a good stopping point for us. We have 2 prayer beads, so we need 2 more to go ahead and start stacking up our vitality and our posture, and we'll be looking really good. So there's 1 more mini boss in this area, and then there's 1 mini boss, 1 boss, but we're not going to be fighting them yet. So go ahead and travel back to the dilapidated temple, and this is where we'll call it quits for this episode. So the next one, we're going to be going back to do the chained ogre, get another prayer bead, and start pushing into the Ashina castle even more, and then we'll bounce back to the Hirata Estates once we've kind of completed the area. All right, so catch you on the next one.